What up, man? It's your boy MBM back again with another one, and today we talking about why your vocals is not sitting good in the mix. Here's why. All right, man, maybe you got too much compression going on. Maybe you got too much EQ going on in it. Or maybe your vocals are just distorted, they're too loud, they're not sitting right in the mix because everything is just blown out with your vocals. But that's why we doing this video today, to find out. Me personally, I don't punch in. If I fuck up, I do the verse all the way completely over. Do me a favor. Make sure you tap that subscription button, man. Push that button. I definitely need you guys to show support because when y'all subscribe, man, it makes me happy. I got some merch up, man. It's the Mixed by MALACHI hats, man. You know, go to the Stream Element stores, check it out, man. And like I said, the first 3 people who purchase these hats, matter of fact, let's make it 4. Man, hit me on Instagram, send me your session, and I'll mix your session for you for free. Go check them out in the store, man. The link is in the bio. Before we tap into this video, man, you already know what I gotta do first, man. I gotta roll that intro. Let's get into it. So first, I got the session up. I turned off all the plugins. And I'm going to play the song real quick so you guys get a feel of the song, and then I'll explain to you how I'm able to get my verse to sit right. All right, so check it out. Keep it 100. Whole squad pulled up with the roof gone. I need big money, nigga, freeway long. Ballin' like Spalding with it. Yeah, your bitchy on my line, quick call it, nigga. We be all up in the mall with a click big. All the homies blowing notes like Whitney. Back to back in the club with the chicks big. If a nigga start hating, hands hitting it. And I'ma keep it 100. Shots after shots, getting drunk with the homie. Now man looking at me like he wanna act funny. I ain't worried about nothing, he ain't really out man, these niggas playing like they shooters. When they ain't even shooting like a free throw. No. But Mally get the buzzing with that heat though. Don't be playing with a nigga from the street, ho. No. Cause we ain't about playing, nigga. Nah. Don't be playing with a nigga from the street, ho. Cause we ain't about playing, nigga. Nah. Don't be playing with a nigga from the street, ho. Cause we ain't about playing. All right, so all the plugins are off right now. Now, the very first step of getting your beat, the dog barking is throwing me off. The very first step is getting your vocals to sitting right. Oh my God. The very first step to getting your vocals to sitting right is making sure you did a good recording. Now, if you look at this, you look at the actual verse, you'll see that the verse is not distorted, it's not too loud. It's well balanced, like, you know, like you can see the transients, you know, you can see them poking up, but that's what the compressor is for, so we can squash those and kind of even out the verse. Now the thing is, you know, add some ad-libs to it, some doubles, man. I don't know what y'all call it, you know, y'all may call it backings, I don't know, but make sure you add some backings to it, whatever you say, or how you call it, man. But you know, you wanna tighten your verse up, but just mainly make sure, like, if you do have a verse and you think it's pretty dope and you like it and you don't want to re-record it, you can always gain stage these verses. You can always hit it with gain staging by double-clicking on a verse and going here to where you see the actual meter right here. You can gain stage a verse, you know what I mean, if your verses are too loud. So if your verse is looking like this, you're definitely going to have to do some gain staging. But the problem with this is once you start adding compression to stuff like this, you start hearing distortion in your verse. So now your verse is way over louder than the beat. And I know some of you first-time recorders be having trouble. So definitely think about gain staging. So if your verse is looking like this and the wave file is looking like this, I mean your verse is too loud. And then when you start adding compression and stuff to it, it's really going to overpower the beat, and it's going to sound like a rock and roll verse. It's going to be really distorted. You know, I love rock though. So definitely gain stage the track. Or if you recording if you recording your verse in, just make sure your verse looks like this. So I like to have mine around negative 12 dB or 9, somewhere in that area. So I'll go over to the mixer so you can see what I'm talking about. So that way I got enough room to add my plugins to do what I need to do. You want your verse to sit right in the beat, follow these steps, and just pay close attention. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna play it, and then we're gonna look at the meter and see if we at negative 12 or negative 9, where we at. Just somewhere in that area, you just want to give yourself enough room to apply plugins and compression, but you don't want to distort it. So these plugins are really help when your verse is recorded right.
Keep it 100. Whole squad pulled up with the roof gone. I need big money, nigga, freeway long. Ballin' like Spartan with it. Yeah, your bitch, she on my line, quick call it, nigga. We be all up in the mall with a click big. All the homies blowing notes like Whitney. Back to back in the club with the chicks big. If a nigga start hating, hands hitting it.
So you can see mine is sitting around negative 10.4. Sometimes it probably touch 9. But that's cool. That's the area you want to be. That's the area you want to be in. You don't want to be peaking up here, man, and having the verse too loud and you seeing the meter looking red. And remember, that's what the ozone plugin is for. The actual True Peak plugin is for, to help you with the peaking. So now you can actually push a lot of things with your verses, or you can push your beats and stuff like that, like I explained in the last video. Make sure y'all check that out. I'll drop wait, man. I'll drop a link right here, man. I'm so close up to this camera, man. It's like the screen is right here and my finger is touching the top. I'll place a link up here at the top so you guys can check it out. Now, let's see. Yeah, so like I said, I like to sit around like negative 10, negative 12, 9, up in that area. So once you do that, man, and then you start applying plugins and stuff like that, you won't be over processing your verse. So let's check it out. I'm going to go through the plugins I have. Now, and another thing, you don't need to use a lot of plugins to make your verse sound good. If you record a clean verse, you definitely don't need to use a lot of plugins. But the EQ, for people who don't have good treatment in their room, the EQing would be a great way of kind of cleaning your verse up and kind of knocking out some of these frequencies in the room as far as the reverb sound. And sometimes the reverb is really good. You know, it just depends on how you mix it. So let's go. And you know the first plugin I like to use, which would be the SSL. I like to turn the gate on. So if you got a noisy room and everything is noisy in there, you can actually turn the gate plugin on it, turn the range up to 40, you know, turn your threshold up to like negative 20. And that'll clean up a lot of noise in your room. Like, you'll be surprised like how it gets rid of the noise. Let's see if I have any noise on this verse. Let me check it out. Let's see. So I'll play it just the verse.
Whole squad pulled up with the roof gone. I need big money, nigga, freeway long. Ballin' like Spartan with it. Yeah, your bitch, she on my line, quick callin', nigga. We be all up in the mall with a click big. All the homies blowing notes like Whitney. Back to back in the club with the chicks big. If a nigga start hating, hands hitting him. Aye. And I'ma keep it 100. Shots at the shots, getting drunk with the homie. Now a man looking at me like he wanna act funny. I ain't.
Yeah, so Gate is a great plugin to use. So the SSL channel is a very great plugin for that. And I believe, what's his name? Slate Digital has one on their rack to where you can use. It's the classic Gate. That one is very clean too. That one is super clean. That's a really good plugin. Remember that. So make sure you check out that plugin too. But I really love this plugin. Like, this is one of my favorite plugins to clean up my verses and stuff like that if I hear noise in the room. Sometimes y'all may have, you know, your smoke detector going off, you ain't changed the battery, so you hear the beep and it be in your verse, but you like that verse, you're like, damn, I recorded this one very good. Use this, it'll definitely eliminate, it will eliminate that. And then, so the next thing I like to do is I like to pull up a EQ. So you just clean up the vocals a little bit, you know. And what I normally do when I'm recording vocals with my mic, I don't roll off with the microphone. I leave it at a flat signal to where everything is just flat. It's dry. I do not roll it off and I think this roll off to about 80. I'm not sure, but I think it's around 70 or 80 with these mics or something like that. So it's kind of already rolling off, you know, rolling off some of the low end on your verse. I like to do that manually inside of the mix. So try to leave your mic flat. You know, some people like rolling theirs off, but me personally, I get a better mix at just leaving it flat and doing it manually. So make sure you leave it like this. I'm gonna play it without it, and then I'm gonna do a tutorial on how to clean your vocals with an EQ. So let's listen to it.
Whole squad pulled up with the roof gone. I need big money, nigga, freeway long. Ballin' like Spartan with it. Yeah, your bitch, she on my line, quick callin', nigga. We be all up in the mall with a click big. All the homies blowing notes like Whitney. Back to back in the club with the chicks big.
All right, cool. And so let's close this out. And this is just a quick tutorial just to breeze through to get y'all to sit in y'all vocals right, man, because I know y'all tired of it. Y'all feeling like it's not loud enough or it's not fitting with it. And then I like to use Tico. Tico is by Matthew Lane. Super dope ass compression, man. And it's like basic compressors. I love using basic compressors. I love using 2-knob compressors, straight to the point, man. You know, and you don't see a attack and a release on this one, man. This one is just straight to the point. And if you don't got it, I believe they have like this thing called Gobbler where you can sign up and you can get Matthew Lane for $4.99 a month. You can do a subscription and you'll actually have this plug-in for, you know, for the year or whatever you're paying for it. But yeah, it's called Tico. It's really dope, man. So yeah, I like to use this plug-in. And then, you know, with this plug-in, like I said, I normally turn the gain up. And that's why I said recording at negative 12 dB gives you a lot of room to play, because I can actually turn the gain up on this plug-in now and then turn the tightness up, which is, you know what I mean, which is kind of like the threshold in a way. So I'm going to play it without it.
Keep it 100. Whole squad pulled up with the roof gone. I need big money, nigga, freeway long. Ballin' like Spartan with it. Yeah, your bitch, she on my line, quick calling, nigga. We be all up in the mall with a click big. All my homies blowing notes like Whitney. Back to back in the club with the chicks big. If a nigga start hating, hands hitting it. And I'ma keep it 100. Shots after shots, getting drunk with the homie. Now man looking at me like he wanna.
Now, if you want to add some air to it, you can. You can just go right here to where it say Cobalt and go to cold air, add a little air to it. But I don't mess with this at all. This one knob by itself compresses the hell out of the vocals and it make it sounds good. And it make it sound good. Now, and the thing about this is when I'm pushing it, I like to push it to around touching negative 7 dB. Or I may just go over it a little bit, but at the same time, it's going with the beat. And make sure you compress your vocals with the beat, bro. Don't use compression by hitting the silence button and then trying to compress your vocals.
Whole squad pulled up with the.
It don't work like that. We don't want to do that. We want to compress while the beat is playing. All right, remember that. Let's close that out. And then another thing, to where you get your vocals sitting right in the mix. You don't want to overdo your EQ. You don't want to overdo this, because this tends to thin out it can thin out your verse. So you can be listening to your song like, dang, my vocals sound thin, my beat banging, but my vocals are thin. You know, so you definitely want to pay attention and be careful. Try not to overprocess your vocal with this equalizer or whatever equalizer you're using, to try not to add too much to the high frequency end of the vocal. So like with me, I push mine to, and depending on the type of mic you got, it can be a mic that already has a nice sounding EQ to it, a nice high end to it. You know, some mics do that and some don't. Like this mic, I have to add EQ to it to make it sound, to make it, you know, bring out that rich flavor. So I'll play it without it.
Keep it 100. Whole squad pulled up with the roof gone. I need big money, nigga, freeway long. Ballin' like Spartan with it. Yeah, your bitch, she on my line, quick calling, nigga. We be all up in the mall with a click big. All my homies blowing notes like Whitney. Back to back in the club with the chicks big. If a nigga start hating, hands hitting it.
Now, and sometimes you may notice after you add that EQ, you start getting a hiss. You start getting that tss with the T's. You start getting those the sibilants. You start getting that problem. So in order to clean that up, like I said, we add a de-esser. Now, me, myself, I love to use the DPR 402, which is a dope-ass de-esser, because to me, it takes away the sibilants and it also adds some clarity to the verse by making things just smooth and crazy, you know what I mean? And then after I add the de-esser, I like to add the reverb and then a delay. And after that, I don't do nothing else. I try not to do too much to my vocals. And that's another thing. You don't want to do too much to your vocals. So check it out with the 402 on it.
Keep it 1.
I'm going to do it without it and then with it on.
Keep it 100. Whole squad pulled up with the roof gone. I need big money, nigga, freeway long. Ballin' like Spartan with it. Yeah, your bitch, she on my line, quick calling, nigga. We be all up in the mall with a click big. All my homies blowing notes like Whitney. Back to back in the club with the chicks big. If a nigga start hating, hands hitting it.
And the dope part about this is I like to turn the frequency to about 5.66, and then I got the de-esser to where the de-esser, I start smashing the de-esser a little bit to 3.8, and then it start cleaning it up and moving along. And that's what I like to do with the de-esser. So if you got waves, use the DPR 402. It's dope. Trust me, man. And if you got good headphones or good monitors, you'll see what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn the reverb back up and a delay. And that, you know, the reverb kind of thickens the verse, make it sound more natural and full. And then the delay just adds a spunk to it. So check it out.
Keep it 100. Whole squad pulled up with the roof gone. I need big money, nigga, freeway loan. Ballin' like Spartan with it. Yeah, your bitch, she on my line, quick calling, nigga. We be all up in the mall with a click big. All the homies blowing notes like Whitney.
Yeah, and that's what I do, man. And that's pretty much how I get my vocals to sit right in my mix. So whether it's a 2-track, whether it's a stem tracked out beat or whatever, just do these steps, man, and it'll help you out. Just make sure your beat is mixed good. Like I said, I'm going to drop a link for that up at the top up there to where you guys can go back to that video to where I show you how to mix down stems. I actually show you how to mix your whole beat so you can have a good sounding beat to go with it, with your vocals. Yeah, man, and that's pretty much it, man. I just wanted to show you guys that and, you know, not to overdo your vocal, not to do too much. And then, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a video on how I record a proper vocal, what I do, my steps I take, like, you know, I'm going to show y'all from the beginning till end. I'm going to rap the verse. I'm going to show you on my Zingo what the volume is on my Zingo far as my microphone volume. If I use any plugins going in, which I don't, and the Zingo allows you to use DSPs. It allows you to put plugins, you know, directly onto the on the mixer to record in, like the compressor, EQ, if you want to record that in. But I recommend just recording dry because you may do that. And if you're not a professional doing that, you know what I'm saying? Like the big studios be doing, like, don't do it because you don't want to mess up and then you can't go back and refix that verse. You'll have to just do it all over. So remember that. And that's pretty much it for this tutorial. But man, I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. It's your boy NBM. And these are steps that'll help you get your vocals to sit right in the mix, man, to get you to sounding right. Like I said, whether it's a 2-track, whether it's a tracked out beat with stems, this tutorial will help that process. And man, thank me later, man. Like, you know, it's very easy. That's it, man. It's your boy NBM. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me and tapping in. Hey, y'all take care, man. I'm out.